Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Blitz5, and today the official game modes and maps for Battlefield 1 were released, and since I'm really excited for Battlefield 1 and I'm going to be posting content on my page, I figured I would make a quick video going through all this stuff, doing a quick overview and just sharing my opinion on this. So let's get started. So in total, there's going to be 10 maps, 9 are going to be during launch, and then there's going to be 1 free in December. So you can see each thumbnail of the map here. Clicking on it doesn't really increase the size that much, but it also gives it a description. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go through the little thumbnails and kind of comment on them. So obviously the first one is Ballroom Blitz, named after me, obviously. This one looks like it's going to have some maybe like fancy inside buildings, like this ballroom, which is cool. Then the second one is the Argonne Forest. Forgive me if I mispronounce any of these names, but there's a train track in the middle here, and that's a hint that there's going to be another train in Battlefield 1. So in the beta, there was a train in the desert map, and if you didn't play the beta, and basically you could spawn into that like a vehicle and do a lot of damage. It was like a tac train. You could bomb like some of the points, and basically whoever got the train took over the middle of the map. And I don't know exactly how it worked because I never got in the train, but it always seemed like the losing team was in the train. So that's going to be a cool aspect to the maps. Then there's the FAO Fortress, which is near the water and the beach, which is like iconic World War I to me. I don't know why that and like the urban warfare, but like kind of storming the beaches. Then there's Suez, which has the same kind of vibe as the FAO Fortress, and there's a battleship on fire, so that's cool. I hope there's going to be some water gameplay. Usually that's the case in Battlefield, but we didn't see any of that in the beta, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of boats and stuff, boat and water vehicle battles there's going to be in Battlefield 1, considering it's World War I. Then the next thumbnail is the Quentin Scar, and it's hard to tell anything from this thumbnail, but there's definitely a guy here which looks to be like a flamethrower. He's got a mask on, and this weapon here looks like it could be a flamethrower because there's fire in the background, so kind of just showing that there's going to be a lot more of that in the game. Then there's the Sinai Desert, which I think is the map that we played in the beta. This picture doesn't really show anything. Then there's Amons, which has another train track, kind of, so they're definitely paying attention to that, at least like that's going to be in the game. They put it in for a reason. It's going to be in multiple maps. Then in this picture, this is super interesting, so I'll click on this. There's a Zeppelin in the back of this map, which is super interesting if that's going to actually be playable in the game, or maybe like a train kind of event where it comes through and you can spawn into it and maybe drop bombs. I have no idea. I'm kind of just making that up, but that would be really sweet. And if you didn't play the beta, the airplanes and the air battles were really nice because it was a lot easier to fly these planes. They're not like 2016 fighter jets. So I just felt like it was a lot easier to control, and I had a lot more fun flying in Battlefield 1 so far. Then finally, this is the last of the launch maps. It's called Empire's Edge, and again, another map which is hinting to be near the water, which is pretty sweet. So as I said before, definitely excited to see what kind of water battles they have, or whatever you would call that properly. The Navy. Then last, in December, we're getting another map, and that's going to be called Giant Shadow, and not a lot of information here except for it's in the cold autumn of 1918, so I'm going to assume that there's going to be some snow, and that would be pretty sweet to have a winter map. I always enjoy those in a lot of FPS shooters. So anyways, that's it for the maps. Let's see what kind of game modes we're going to be playing those maps on, or what we're going to be playing on the map. And we have the traditional Conquest, which we all know and love from Battlefield 1, or hate if you struggle playing that. There's going to be Domination, which seems to be like a smaller version of Conquest, more like the Call of Duty. Conquest is kind of like Domination, but Domination in Call of Duty is a little bit different, so I'm assuming it's going to be like that. Then there's Operations, which seems to be a little bit different. This actually is completely different. This one, it says that you're going to be able to play across different maps, multiple maps. So I don't know how they're going to do this in the game, but they're hinting that you're going to be focusing on team play and frontline combat. So if you're kind of pushing forward and then moving to another map, that would be really sweet if they had that. I'd be pretty excited. Then there's Rush, which is pretty traditional in Battlefield 1, where it's kind of like attack and defend. And then I'm going to skip War Pigeons, go on to Team Deathmatch, which is a staple in any FPS shooter. That doesn't need to be explained. And then finally there's War Pigeons, which to me, I read before this video and I was like, what the fuck is this? But I guess it could allegedly be cool. So this one I'll explain really quick. Well, I'll just go ahead and read it. So it says, War Pigeons. During the Great War, man-made communication systems were still crude and unreliable, so dogs and pigeons were used extensively to carry messages. In the War Pigeons game mode, the opposing sides compete to use messenger pigeons to call in artillery barrages on the enemy. When the game starts, a pigeon co-op with a messenger pigeon is placed somewhere on the map. Locate the pigeon before the enemy and carry it to a safe location out in the open. There you prepare a message and send it off, calling for artillery support. Is that a comma or a period after off? Because that's confusing. Anyways, once a message is successfully sent, an artillery barrage will strike the enemy. The TLDR, in my opinion, is there's a pigeon in the middle of the map. First one to get to that wins, because then you can set off this artillery strike, but you need to do that, I guess, to be successful. You need to do both. So it's kind of like a search and destroy. It's like a neutral bomb, but that bomb's the pigeon. That's probably better to say. Neutral bomb. Neutral pigeon. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game modes on the 9 initial maps of Battlefield 1. So I'm definitely excited. About a month left. Can't wait for this game to come out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.